As y'all know, if y'all have been watching for a minute, or even if this is your first time clicking on this video, about a year ago, I was in high school. I had just started my YouTube channel, not even, a couple years into my high school career. And, it's been going pretty well for me. And out of high school, I actually started a business. And what I started doing was I started a business where I actually deal insurance and investments. And through that business, it's allowed me to change my life. So we're going to actually talk about a couple healthy habits that are actually, help you as well. And that have been helping me, and I hope they help you. So the first one we're going to get into is going to church. Now, a lot of you guys may be like, going to church, I don't believe in this. Or you got to go to church. Being in church has allowed me and it has helped me, honestly, to grow my faith. I grew up in church as a kid, and, being young, it allowed me to understand who Jesus was, what he was doing in my life, how he was allowing my parents to be led to him so he could also be led to us as children, like my siblings. It's not only allowed my faith to grow, but it has allowed my life to change. It has allowed me to be patient. It has allowed me to, see a lot of results in my life, and not just for what God gives, but church has allowed me to, serve God for who he is, just being God, just how great he is. And outside of that as well, it allows me to become a better person as well. Seeing others that go through problems, seeing others that are doing good in life, there's always room to do better. That seeing others that are in the middle of challenges, it has allowed me to be a leader. And, it has allowed me to develop a form of leadership around, people of God. And when you're around people that are like-minded, and when you're around people that have the same ambitions, goals, or, even if they're not the same, people that just want greatness in life, it will allow you to see an entirely different perspective. You know what I'm saying? So church is a really, 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 really good key factor. And it's honestly a key factor to the way I'm being successful today. It has allowed me to change my life and change others' lives in so many ways, becoming a leader, growing in my faith, and serving God for who he is, not just what he gives to me, but honoring him. The second habit that has allowed me to be successful as well is, y'all gotta listen to this one, right? Preparation. Preparation is one of the only key factors that is gonna allow you to have strength that leads to the outcome. Preparation, I want you guys to think just like Noah. If any of you guys have read the Bible or any type of story, you know that Noah was set out to create an ark because he was the only righteous man in the land besides the people who were sinning. And it's not that God wanted to just end or, destroy his people that, he created, but they were sinning and God didn't call us to sin. And what Noah did was, he listened to God's word. A lot of us hear God. We might not see him, but we hear him and we ignore it sometimes. I want you guys to think of it just like air, right? You breathe in air, but you can't see it. You got to trust in God, and you got to have that faith. And, getting back on topic, what I'm saying is Noah created an ark because he listened to God. And it took him about 2 years to create this ark. While creating this ark, there were probably people in the land saying he was crazy. There were probably people in the land saying, you're stupid, you're dumb, what are you doing, right? All of these things were in his thoughts, in his mind, in his process. But through it all, he did not allow anyone or anything to interfere with what God had for him. He never said, not one day, God's not going to come through for me, or this or that isn't going to happen for me. What Noah did was he preparated. Preparation comes with focus. He focused on what God had for him and God's plan so he could get to the finish line. God already had the plan and the finish line for him, the reward. But all Noah had to do was preparate. But God wasn't just going to hand the ark to him because he wouldn't have known what to do at that point. He just would have had a boat sitting. You see what I mean? And when the rain came, Noah was safe. His family was safe. And he had a big reward. He has such a huge reward because he waited on what God had for him. And the message to y'all and what I want to say to you guys is you got to have preparation in today's world. You got to preparate for what's to come. Right? You want to be successful and rich 2-3 years from now. You want to have, a big family, nice cars, nice clothes, etc. Okay, cool. But, you got to preparate. You got to have a temporary lock-in instead of a permanent clock-in. Do you want to clock into your 9 to 5, or do you want to preparate and lock in temporarily? It could be a year, 2 years, 6 months, 3 months. that time could change your life. The next one, the third habit that has allowed me to be successful is the gym. A lot of y'all have seen me go to the gym. I haven't been posting it too much or anything like that. I keep it more private. I'm going to start posting more content like that for you guys because I know you guys like that content as well. What I want to get into though is the gym. It allows you to understand delayed gratification. If you have a big business, or you want this business idea to grow, I don't care if you sell clothes, you make shoes, I don't care if you do a financial industry business. I'm talking about real estate, insurance, investments, mutual funds, loans. I don't care if you do, e-commerce. Any of these big business strategies are never going to work. I'm not going to say they're never going to work, but it's always going to be beneficial if you go to the gym. It's not just about getting big and getting buff, but it's about understanding delayed gratification. Delayed gratification means I'm going to plant small seeds now so they can sprout later. When you plant a seed in a garden, does it just sprout instantly? Does it sprout the next day, the third day, the fourth day? No. Does it sprout even in a week? Maybe it may do a little bit of growth. But as you keep watering those seeds, they turn into plants. As you keep watering those plants, they turn into fruit. And as that fruit comes, now you have results. Now you know that if you plant more seeds, you're going to get more results. You guys see what I'm saying? And the gym has allowed me to understand delayed gratification because I planted so many small seeds that I've started to get bigger muscles. But not only getting bigger muscles, it plays out into my business. It plays out into my YouTube. It plays out in my body. It plays out in my mindset. And to get a different harvest, you have to plant different seeds. If you keep being lazy and being undisciplined, do you think you're going to have perfection in your seeds? No. But if you're going to the gym, if you're being disciplined, if you're being consistent, do you think you'll have greater seeds later on? Yes, you will. So delayed gratification matters so much because, it allows you to overcome. It allows you to know that if you work hard now, your business is going to be successful later. If I work hard in the gym, okay, I'm going to get big later. It allows your mind to be trained into what I do now is going to be, a greater outcome later. Going to the gym is going to allow your mind to be trained into understanding that what's now is temporary, but what comes later is going to be permanent because the work I put in now is going to, drastically change over time. And it's going to improve, and those seeds are going to sprout and turn into fruit, even if they may not look like fruit right now. That's why you got to have faith as well. And that's why the first thing I told you guys is church, and not just only going to church every Sunday, right? But also what has helped me is just praying and sitting in my room, privately praying, sitting in my, office, praying. It has allowed me to be in God's presence and get closer to him through prayer, through, justification. Along with those, going to the gym, church, preparation, those things. Number 4, you got to have a daily win. A lot of you are like, what is a daily win? A daily win could be very, very, very simple. It could be in your business. It could be, when you wake up. It could be anything. A daily win that I have continued with for a long time is reading the verse of the day every single day. It says 330, and here's the verse of the day. I'll read it to you guys as well. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And that is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. In the name of Yeshua, I praise and I thank you. Amen. And what I want to say with that, guys, is that's a daily win right there. What I mean by that is, as soon as I open my eyes, that means that God has given me a day. The first person I'm going to serve is the Lord. And I read the word as much as I can every single day. And the first thing I do is even though I'm touching my phone, I'm not just scrolling. I'm not just putting my time into something that's like, oh, well, let me just go do this, that. Like, no. As soon as I wake up, I'm hitting that daily verse. That's all I'm doing. As soon as I wake up, I'm hitting that daily verse. I'm not going outside. I don't care if I got to do this, that. No. Through a daily win, it allows your mind to be trained into small seeds being planted are going to lead to bigger results over time. Just like I told you guys with going to the gym, delayed gratification. I might work out 5 times a week, but it's not just to get big. I want to get disciplined, right? So having a daily win is going to train your mindset into, if I do one successful thing each day, my mindset is going to change and it's going to start to renew, and I'm going to build success over time with this. It could be simple as reading a daily verse, making your bed. It could be as simple as, going outside and getting some fresh air. It could be as simple as, making a sale through your business. Little things are going to lead to a lot bigger rewards and success over time. So you want to have a daily win. It could be, okay, I want to make my bed every day. That's going to allow my chest to just feel, like it's just going to allow me to feel good. And if I can start my day good, that means I'm going to end my day good. Because how do you win the day? If you can have a daily win, guys, that means you can win the whole day. How do you win the whole day? Win the hour, win the morning. Because if you win the morning, you win the night. Don't let that go over y'all's heads. If you start your morning good, your night's going to end good. The fifth one, what I want to get into with you guys is, I know a lot of you business, owners, entrepreneurs, all of you guys are clicking on this video, shout out to y'all. What I want to say is you got to build a system. You got to build a system, because if you build a system, that means you have trusted results that are guaranteed to get results for not only yourself, but for others. If you can get others to feel happy, if you can get others income, if you can get others to grow their income, if you could do something where somebody is benefiting off your system and what you have set in place, I want you guys to think of systems. You think of a grocery store, they have certain people at certain positions, they have bosses, it's a system that's going to play out in the business owner having a lot of profit. If you have a system, and not just having a daily win, going to church, those are habits, but if you have a system in place of your business with selling clothes, e-commerce, insurance, if you could do sales, if you could do law, anything, if you can have a system, you can already have trusted results that if I go up to another person and say, hey, I want to make you some more income, or a person comes to you and says, hey, I want to grow my income, you can give them this system and their income can grow significantly. So what I mean, guys, by taking up your cross daily is you got to have a way to get closer to the Lord beyond prayer, beyond just obeying. You can obey all his commandments. Do it. But to obey his commandments is also to take up your cross. You gotta have something sacrificed. If you're being lazy, you gotta sacrifice laziness so you can get closer to the Lord and you can be consistent. You can be disciplined. You gotta take up your cross, and allow these things to enter your life. When I took up my cross, I gave up less. When I took up my cross, I gave up laziness. And it's not just one time. I take up my cross daily. If you notice you're lazy, take up your cross daily. Jesus died on the cross for us to live. That's the only way I'm making this video. So if Jesus died on the cross for you, you got to take up your cross daily as well. And you got to allow something to be sacrificed for the bettering of yourself. Number 7 is actually investing. A lot of you are making money, trying to grow your money, asking how you grow your money. I see a lot of DMs of people that want to make more income, through the business that I currently run in the financial services industry. And they ask, well, how do you grow your money? You want to have your money, you're never going to have assets if you don't have investments. That is a fact. You're never going to have assets if you don't have investments. If you don't have insurance, investments, and real estate, the 3 pillars of wealth, you're already behind. And what I want to tell you guys is the first way that you're going to have investments is you got to put your money in things like high yield savings, a mutual fund, most of all, and a Roth IRA. Even if you just do the mutual fund and the Roth IRA, your money will grow in interest at the end of every year. And that money will double in a certain period of time that's really, really short, since you're growing on such a high interest. Let's say you're growing on 17% interest in a mutual fund and you put 10,000 in. You put 10,000 liquid in today, meaning that you have 10,000 in cash. You put that money in a mutual fund, that money will double in the next 6 years. That's better than any other type of investment that is out here, guys. I'm putting you guys on game. Invest in a mutual fund, invest in a Roth IRA. Those grow at higher than a 10% as well. You want to have a high yield savings if you do have a bank, but you don't want to let your money sit in the bank. It's one of the worst things that you guys could do, okay? Outside of that, we're going to get into the 9th. The last and final step outside of investing, outside of growing your money, another way that's going to help you get richer and others get richer as well is teaching others. What I want to classify this as is duplication. If you know that you're a hard worker, and if you know that you're on the way to being a millionaire, trillionaire, billionaire, etc., you know that you're making a lot of profit, why not teach somebody else that same high profitable skill so that they can get rich and so that they can do a lot of great things for their families, for their loved ones, and for their, to bring generational wealth to their family as well. There's not people out here teaching how to get more rich, how to get better at life, how to get better with your mindset. But that's what I'm here for, is to teach you guys these things. If you can duplicate yourself, if you're a hard worker, if you're, if you have a high income skill, if you're a hard worker, if you can overcome problems, you've already won. And if you could do those things, why not plant those seeds that you have in someone else and allow those to sprout into fruit so that that same person could do it to somebody else? And that's going to get you richer as well. You're going to allow yourself to see more profit and passive income. I know a lot of you guys are like, I don't want to work for income my whole life and just work, then I receive a check. I want to receive money passively, meaning I could be asleep. I could be asleep. I could be watching Netflix. Maybe you guys have kids. I could be watching, Cars with my kids, right? But the thing is, you can actually have income coming in those moments rather than you just going and checking or clocking in. What did I say? You got to have a temporary lock-in so you don't have to have a permanent clock-in. Come on. Somebody's hearing me on this video. But hey, man, besides investing, besides duplication, those are some habits that I've actually incorporated into my life as well. Going to the gym, going to church, investing, duplication. I'm currently running a business where I can teach others how to make income. If you live in Colorado and you're ready to, stop working a 9-to-5, you're even tired of it, or even if you just want some extra income on the side, go ahead and tap the link below, or you can go ahead and contact me on my socials. I'll go ahead and help you out, and I will be the one that can teach you. I'm currently a licensed professional in the financial industry, so I'm someone who can help you guys. I'm not only a YouTuber no more. I'm a business owner, and I'm on my way to ownership. What I want to tell you guys is I appreciate everyone who has clicked on this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I love all you guys. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Don't forget to like, man. You still ain't liked? All right, bro. But go ahead and like the video, man. Those are some, habits that have allowed my life to change and have allowed me to not only change in just my life, but they have allowed me to grow in my business as well. All of those strategies and habits have allowed my business to become a lot larger. So I thank you guys and I appreciate you. Have a good day. We out, man. Peace.